I don't think Cheetah was robbed this past weekend against Amin Zahabi, but I do think he won the fight. Um, I believe Cheeto did win rounds 1 and 2 and lost the third against Zahabi. I think the third could go either way, though. I just, this is the reoccurring problem with Cheeto Vera's fights. I'm a very big fan of Cheeto Vera. He's my third favorite fighter on the roster right now. I think he's a fun character. I know it like he's very authentic the way he presents himself, but he's a lot of fun, and I like watching his interviews. I think he's very funny too. His Matt and Shane Secret Podcast episode, it's hilarious. It's a good shout. Go watch that. This is a reoccurring problem with Cheeto's fights where Cheeto thinks he is doing enough to win the fight, but that's exactly the problem. Enough is never enough to win a fight. You have to do more than enough for it to be enough, if that makes sense. If you think you're winning the round, make sure you're winning the round and throw more. Cheeto's past 3 fights, he's lost by decision. Sean O'Malley. There's no argument. He lost against Sean O'Malley. Davis and Figueiredo, I don't know what the scorecards were. He might have picked up 1 round, so it could have been 29-28 or 30-27 for Figueiredo. And then this one, I think, this should be the awakening call for Cheeto, where it's like he did good and he did enough, but it wasn't enough. And I think this should be the moment where a pivotal turnaround can come for Cheeto. Cheeto used to be a nasty motherfucker in the octagon. Like he's got good power, he's got great kicks, good scrambles, good jiu-jitsu. It's never his technical skill that's like holding him back in the octagon. It's always like his mindset. Cheeto's going out there to win by decision, it seems like. And if you're going out to win by decision, you're just not gonna win. And I like obviously, what do I know? Like I don't fight. So there like that could be like an easy cop out for this, but I think this is good insight for Cheeto's career. Cheeto's young.
What?
He's maybe not young, but he's 32. Like he's not old. He could have a second wind and have some meaningful presence in the bantamweight division. And it's not to say that his presence right now isn't meaningful. He's still a great fighter, good to watch. Like people are excited to watch. But he could really become a challenger again if he takes a moment and realizes that enough just is not enough. You got to go out there and hurt motherfuckers.
Oh! Huge head kick there from Vera.
Canetti leaping his legs on him, a beautiful uppercut. Oh, and now Canetti's covering up. Vera going to work. Warning from the referee. More knees to the body.
Started. Another one. Oh, and he buckled him. He dropped him back. Oh, and now Cheeto seeking the finish. Heavy fist coming in.
Urgency on there now.
Oh, beautiful knee. Oh, and he's in the mount. Look at this. Got it.
That's time.
That's it.
Wow.
Shots from a great position for Marlon. And gets loose with the hands. The referee's looking close. Steps in. Oh! Huge elbow. Nice shot.
Wow. It's also ridiculous that they don't get to look at monitors.
That's it. Highlight he was looking for.
You will not leave.
That is the key word there.
First round, I think it was pretty close. Cheeto was throwing the more damaging shots for sure. I think Amin Zahabi was doing the CKB style of like tippy-tappy at range. So even if Zahabi had more numbers, like Cheeto had busted up Zahabi's nose by the end of the round. And Zahabi had been bleeding pretty bad from it. So Cheeto was going out there to hurt him. Round 2, I gave it round 1 to Cheeto. 10-9 Cheeto, first round. Like that damage, even if he was down on numbers, Zahabi was just not throwing anything meaningful. He was just throwing those light range keeping strikes. Second round, Cheeto drops Zahabi with a jab, a stiff jab as Zahabi's coming in. And he did chase the finish, which is good to see, but he kind of let the finish get away from him. And so that was like midway through the round. And it just seemed like Cheeto was like, oh, well, that won me the round. I can kind of take the rest of it off, which allowed Zahabi to get back into the fight, which is just not a good way to be going in there and fighting. especially not against a smart guy like Zahabi. Like Zahabi's got great game plans. He's got good knowledge. Like that's where he thrives. So Zahabi took that recovery time and he used it. Third round, I think I gave it to Zahabi. I don't know. I just think rounds 1 and 2 definitely, maybe not definitely. No, they were Cheetos. Like rounds 1 and 2 did go to Cheeto, but really because Zahabi is Canadian and they were in Canada, that's kind of where the nod to the judges went. I don't think it's a robbery. I really don't. I think it's good that Zahabi won, especially if Cheeto can take this and realize, like, I won that fight, but it's not enough. If he takes that and he applies it and he goes out and he throws and he tries to knock people's heads off, and he really pushes the pace, this could be meaningful for him. Like Cheeto has the ability to push the pace. He's got insane cardio. He's known as the guy who runs 13 miles every Sunday, runs every day, and he's got insane conditioning and he's pretty big for the division. Like he's tall, he's rangy, and he's got good power. We need to see Cheeto use that to his advantage and not just use it but like really make it unfair. Like go out there and realize that you have the advantage in almost everything and just use it. Just go out there and fucking throw. I would love to see Cheeto have a second win here. I love watching him fight. I think a lot of people like watching Cheeto fight. He's got an aura when he steps into the octagon where he just becomes like this nasty motherfucker that is fun to watch. Even if these past couple of fights haven't been too great, Cheeto had an aura to him and he still has it. He can really bump it up though. Like he can pump up the numbers in the striking game and he can get wins by like knockout or by like dominant decisions. He's got the capability to do it. He just needs to use it. And I think this fight could be a good pivotal moment for Cheeto. I think if he takes the loss and realizes it's not enough, even if I think it's enough, it's not enough. I have to make sure I'm doing more than enough. We could see Cheeto potentially become a challenger again. And maybe that's just wishful thinking because he's one of my favorite fighters, but I don't care if it's wishful thinking. I want to see Cheeto become a challenger again. I want to see him take people out at bantamweight. I want to see him be a force to be reckoned with because we all know that he's capable of doing it, and that's why it's so frustrating to see him not do it. So I don't think he was robbed, but I do think he won. I think robbery is a term that's being thrown out there for no reason anymore. It's just lost all of its meaning. And I've seen a lot of people on MMA Twitter, MMA TikTok, like obviously people on their room temperature IQ, not the brightest bulb in the box. They're being pretty dramatic with like, oh, Cheetah just goes out there and does nothing. He just stands there and does nothing for 3 rounds. Like if that was the case, Zahabi would have won 30-27. It wouldn't have been a split decision. He's doing enough. He's technically doing enough, but it's just not enough. And that's the problem. You cannot be doing enough. You have to go out there and you have to fucking win. That's what you have to do. And like, what do I know? I'm just some guy who watches the fights, but I like Cheeto a lot, and I want to see him succeed. He's one of my favorite fighters. And I really think he has the potential to become a force to be reckoned with again, and that's why it sucks so much to see him not do it. But yeah, that's it.